Hello guys, Kalmier here once again, and so today we're going to work on our destination selector. But before we do that, I wanted to show you how to do empty cart detection. And the principle of this is based off the fact that empty minecarts, they lose momentum a lot faster than a occupied minecart. So by using that factor, we're going to have empty minecarts by default automatically go into our rail station. So let me go ahead and remove some of these tracks. Okay, and so right after our 2 power tracks, I'm going to put a detector rail like that. And then from there, you're going to count out 7 spots. 1, 2, you can go straight, but I'm going to turn here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now this 7th one is going to be where we turn back into our station. So I'm actually going to tear out this floor a little bit. And this is where I will have our station go in. Our tracks go in, sorry. So like this. And I'm just going to turn it to go into our station. I'm also going to go ahead and change this to a power rail so that the down part here will help it get to the power rail, but the power rail will help it boost up back into our station. Okay, so now if I release a cart, by default it's automatically going to go back into our station. Okay, from here your track would just go on like that. And again, normally your track would just go straight out. You can do this anywhere you want. So this needs a redstone torch underneath it. So actually do that. Go dig underneath this one and put a redstone torch. Now we want it by default, when the torch is by itself, to go down into our rail station. So I'm going to remove this just to see. Okay, that's going the wrong way, that's going the right way. So with the torch there, it's already in the correct position. So we are going to connect the torch that's under here to that detector rail. So let me clear this out a little bit. And I will just put all that back in a little bit. So from there, okay, so there's our torch. And we simply connect dust. And it has to go into the block, that's why I have it turned that way. And I need a way out. Okay, and so what's going to happen is the cart is actually going to hit this detector rail. Actually, I will just put it on the detector rail so you guys can see. Okay, when it's on the detector rail, as you can see, the track is going to go straight. Okay. When it's not on the detector rail, it turns into the station by default. So that's exactly how I want it. And the rest of this is timing. I want it so that this switches back right as the cart's getting to it. So we'll keep a close eye on the track. And I couldn't see, so let me try that again. Okay, it switched right before. It looks like we might be able to add a little bit delay though. So let me go ahead and put a repeater there, just to kind of lengthen it just a little bit. Try it out. Okay, that looks like it's perfect. So now, when it's empty, by default it goes into the station. When I'm on it, it goes faster, and so it goes over that track before it switches back, which is exactly how I want it. Alright, so that's how you do empty cart detection. Again, this can go straight, but again, it's going to be about 7 tracks out before the bend. You can put that bend out there somewhere. This downward track, you can actually cover. So like, you can have a cover over it like that. So if you're going straight, it looks normal. If it goes back into the station, it actually goes underground. I'm actually going to bend my tracks so they go off that way. And that's where my destinations. I should have built this station mirrored. I should have had the departures go out the other side and the arrivals come in over here, but I don't feel like rebuilding it, so I'm just going to have my track wrap around. So I'm going to edit this a little bit and have my tracks go off that way. So I will do that. I'll go ahead and speed through this so you guys can actually see what I'm doing, and I will see you when I'm done with that. Okay guys, just a quick explanation of what I did. I added a power track here, which is fine because this pressure detector rail will actually activate it as the cart rolls across it. Because this is further, so I needed the extra power to make it get over here, because setting that to a 4 tick just wasn't enough, and I didn't want to add a second repeater. So since this is further, I just added an extra power rail. I still had to adjust the repeater to make sure it compensated for any time delay, because again I want this to switch back to this position right as the empty cart is getting here for perfect timing. Also, I had to invert the signal, so I put the torch underneath the pressure plate. Well, the detector rail's there, the dust is underneath it, and then the torch inverts the signal. So that way, again, by default, I want the track to be going back to the station, and I only want the track to go straight for a few seconds after I run over the detector route. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this back up. I cannot put a block here because that'll create that bug right there, but I can cover the rest of this up. And again, this is one of those things where you can actually put a block over this and it will not prevent the empty cart from going underneath there, just like that. And that's actually going to be empty, so I'll just cover it like that. Alright, so there we go. I have my empty detector, empty cart detector, and I will go ahead and sleep, and then I will return with the materials for the destination selector. So I will be right back. Okay guys, I'm back, and we're going to build our destination selector over here. And the model I'm actually going to use, I can't pronounce the guy's name, but I'll link him in the description and probably put up an annotation. But on my video for the Minecart station, he sent me a video response of a very nice, compact destination selector. It's compact, it's kind of light on resources. There are a couple disadvantages to it, but I'll go over that in a little bit later. So to do this method, what I'm going to do is pick out where I want my wall to come out. So I want my wall to come out here and go across this way. So like that. And where I'm going to have 4 buttons. So the spot that I want those 4 buttons, I'm going to go ahead and dig down. And on either side, you're going to go 1 extra space and then up, like that. I actually chose that side on purpose because I have other plans for this involving my minecart station, but I'll come back to that in a little while as well. So from here, you're going to fill everything in this trench with dust, and then you can pretty much cover this dust back up and place your buttons. And where this dust is coming out over here, you're going to put 1 torch, and then we're going to connect pistons across a back line. So obviously I can't put dust there or else the torch is going to activate the dust. So I'm going to use a repeater there. And then to connect this block to that repeater, I'm going to use a dust. And then to stop it from connecting like that, I'm going to use a block to block it off like that. Alright, and we need to do this for each one of the buttons, so we're just going to alternate this like that, and each one of these needs to be set on the third tick, and then we're going to put dust in between those. From here, we grab our pistons, 1, 2, 3, 4, and what this does is it sends power to only one piston at a time. And from here, I'm going to do 3 blocks coming back towards our main wall. One on top of the piston, the other 2 over the redstone repeaters and dust. And you also need to put 1 over the torch and 1 over this extra spot. Although you probably skip that, but it doesn't matter. Put a dust over the torch and then go across the front line like that. From here, you're going to put a repeater left on the first tick, going across to each one of the blocks where the pistons are. So now when you activate a piston, it's actually going to send power through that block. So 1, that keeps the piston extended instead of it going back down. And then 2, we now have a place for our output. So we can put a repeater there, and you can alternate back and forth between them. Like that. So now the power is only going through whichever one the piston is raised for. Now, so this design is very compact. These are your outputs. This is the first disadvantage to this method, is your outputs are actually on top. And so you actually have to bring them down from above. The other disadvantage is in the other model, you guys may have seen Armitage did a tutorial on making a compact one. He actually got that from the Minecraft forums. It was the one I was originally going to build for my station. On his, there's torches above that show you which destination is selected, and obviously you don't have that here. So those are the 2 disadvantages. It's lightweight, it's compact, it's very easy to make, but you have to come down from 2 blocks, and it does not have signal torches showing you where your destination is currently selected. If you guys want to see the other model, I can do a tutorial for that as well. Kind of explain how that model works and try and simplify it so it's easy to make. If you're interested in that, please leave a comment, and I will see about making one of those in my test world real quick, quick tutorial video. In the meantime, from here, you would run your redstone dust out towards wherever your tracks are going to go. For anywhere where it's just a dust, I would suggest just going straight down 1 step like that. And anywhere that there's a repeater, you actually have a cool option here. If you put a block in front of the repeater, like that, you can put red. Let me activate this real quick first. Okay, so this block is being charged, which means you can put dust in front of it like that. I'm sorry, on top of it. You can put redstone dust over here. You can even put a block next to it, but I would only do that if it's one of the end blocks, not in the middle somewhere. Also, you can even put it underneath it, so like that. Again, you kind of want to be careful that you don't accidentally mix with this one. If you try and put this one going down a step, it's going to cross wires that way. Also, if you try and put a block going straight out, this block is charging this dust, so you kind of gotta watch out for that. But I'll be working with wires in my next video, which will be connecting it to the tracks that go out to each one of my destinations, so that'll be in my next video. In the meantime, what I also wanted to do over here is I want to make it so that pushing one of these destinations also calls a cart. So this is my call cart button, and all it does is it charges that block, which is what sends me my cart. So instead of sending it through redstone dust like that, I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and I'm going to put a redstone torch underneath this block, so right there. And so there it sent me a cart. So I don't need this button anymore. And I can actually go ahead and just fill in this hole because there's nothing there anymore. And so now I'm going to run my wire from those buttons over to where I just put that. So build a step quick. And there we go. I'm actually going to go ahead and remove this dirt and put wood so that I don't have to worry about animals spawning. So like that. Sent myself another cart. And redstone dust is going to go from there to that other spot. All this grass is going to be replaced later. For now, I'm just going to put dirt back though. And on this side of that. Now you do have to be careful over here if you're connecting it in this manner, because right now it's connecting up that step. If you put a block there, it's going to cut the connection. So you need to leave that block open, which is why I have it under my wall still, so that way it still hides the wire connection. Okay, so now I only have one button for departure. I'm going to move this button, whoops, to match. Whoops, a little bit of symmetry here. So above that track, this button activates my return, this button activates my departure, and if I push a destination, sends me a cart. Now if you come in and there's already a cart there, it doesn't matter. If I don't know which destination is currently selected, it doesn't matter. Say I wanted to go to 3, which I just pushed. Well, I don't know that 3 is already selected, but it doesn't matter. If I push it again, it's still just going to reactivate number 3, and it still sent another cart, but this time when it sends a cart, it gets bounced back and goes right back into the Pez dispenser. So everything still works seamlessly, even though I don't know which destination was selected. Even though there's a cart there, it doesn't matter. I still come in, pick my destination, get in the cart, and go. Alright, so in my next video I will do the tracks over here. Like I said, there may be a redstone tutorial for how to do the other track selector. Again, if you want to see that, leave a comment. In the meantime, I will see you guys next time.